you look at? No.
I'm pointing to my butt cheek when I throw the kick. It's up. It's not this way. Okay? When I throw that kick, it's not like this. Okay? Typically, that's what we see in all of the arts, other than the Thai combat. My calf muscle, it also, please stop doing that, Jacoby. It also, my calf muscle is facing up. That's because when I'm throwing this kick, I'm throwing it, this particular kick comes down. It's coming up, boom, and everything's dropping down. So my butt cheek is up, my calf muscle is up. This foot right here, it is literally facing that way. I'm liberating my foot. I'm liberating the foot that I'm standing on when I'm throwing the kick. Two things are happening. I'm throwing the weight of my kick in, okay, and past. What I mean by that is it is slamming into, and I'm stepping past. So my target, my opponent is right here, okay? So that means my navel is facing him. Yeah, I can do this Western boxing thing. I can also do this Taekwondo karate thing, okay? And somehow that's supposed to make me less of a target. When you're dealing with kicks, there's no less target. You are a target. I want, in this particular kick especially, my navel is going to line up with your navel, okay? And I'm always going to have this fighting horse stance, which, by the way, we know this is the horse stance, okay? But the fighting horse stance looks a little bit more like this, because when I've got my arrow, I'm on my horse, I've got my bow, I turn in the stirrups, pow, okay? So what that looks like from here is this. So if I'm in my horse stance, and then I go to my fighting horse stance, this is what I look like. Okay? My navel faces that, my opponent's navel. Alright? When I'm watching video, and I don't know how much of it is just practiced, and we're practicing something and it is now just something that we do, or if it is in fact something just to show a little bit, but not everything, viewers that will see the video. Either way it goes, I want to make sure for this kick that we understand my hip is completely and totally liberated. Okay? So from the rear, what this looks like is me coming into my opponent and slamming. I am coming forward. Let me give you an example. I'm back here by the camera now. Okay? This is a good 8 feet. Okay? I'm going to stand right here and I'm going to kick my opponent from 8 feet. Yes! Okay? White muscle fiber tissue has nothing to do with red muscle fiber tissue. There's no fat. It's all dense. There's no puffy muscle. It's small, tight, white muscle fiber. From here, bus! To here. Okay? When I'm throwing this kick, I want you to see what my bottom foot's doing. Work with me for just a minute. My little tripod stand had a mishap. Or the little selfie stick thing that I put my phone in. My bottom foot, this foot that's on the ground right here, when I throw this kick, It's completely liberated. I liberated it so that I can throw my hip so hard and so far forward and down to drop that axe, to bring that axe down. I liberated this so that this is possible, okay? What I'm seeing with some of the kicks that are good kicks, these Japanese kicks are, they're good. They got that snap, okay? But with that snap comes right at the target. I mean, right on it. As soon as it makes connection with the target, that's when it does that little snap thing, okay? It's like, and so what happens, even in the video that I've watched, is there's this push. There's like this snap, but that push, it literally takes you off of that foot, the foot that you're standing on, and it throws you off balance where you've got to catch your balance coming down. I'm going to liberate this foot going in, and I'm going to liberate it coming back out. Boom. 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 I'm going to liberate it. I'm going to liberate that foot. Maybe a little side action here. Okay. Maybe I come over here, throw it with my left. This is what I do with that free hand, if you will. I bring it across my body. I bring it across my body as if my target or my opponent might try to target me as I'm coming out. So here I'm looking through my fingers, and then as I come back, I want to emphasize this again. My target is here. I'm going to take my left foot and step this way and forward. This way and forward. And I'm going to do that as I bring that I'm slinging that alligator tail. That alligator tail comes around. It's flaccid. My hip is literally bringing that whip around. Okay? As I'm coming off of that kick, boom. Okay? I always want to set up some sort of a punch, okay? Some sort of a blocking technique that would have the equivalent of an impactive block if they decide to come, or even throw a kick. So one of the things that I see with a lot of our karate stylists, you know, they do all the high kicks to the head, which is good, but everything as far as the body is concerned, the chest, they're throwing all these punches from here. And they're throwing them exactly the way they are taught whenever they're training. And so it is a hard punch, but every time I've seen somebody with this style come off, their kicks, their hands are like this, ready to do this, ready to do this. That's what they're ready to do. So when I see a video where someone goes, boom, 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 his hands were down here the whole time. I saw a video and I saw a boom, 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 and my hands were down. And not only that, but whenever I made contact with the kick, my body, I saw his body go back this way. It was going this way. On the moment he launched that kick, his body had to correct this thing here. When he throws that kick, boom, boom, he needs to be so committed to that kick that his body can only go this way. And if he's kicking on a heavy bag and the heavy bag doesn't move even in his commitment, he needs to liberate the foot he's standing on. Boom, boom, boom. He needs to be ready to go from here to here. My stance in any Muay art, any Muay combat, is going to be 70-30. And here's why. This what you're looking at right here. What you're looking at right here. That's an elephant. These are his tusks. This right here would be his smashing foot. You've seen that teep? That's his smashing foot. You've seen this? That's that trunk. Maybe you see it better here. Okay? That's an elephant. When I come off of a kick, boom, my tusks are right here. Whatever attack my opponent tries to deliver, he's got to go through my tusks. And if it's some form of low kicking, I am ready to go from here to here immediately. So when he goes to throw that kick, if it is a kick, he's got all of this that he has to reckon with. That will hurt him. Okay? I have to figure out what he's doing. I've got to figure out a combination. If I'm going to go with a striking combination that looks like boom, boom, okay, and then maybe whatever kick you decide to throw in there that looks Japanese. We need to set this kick up to where he's getting used to, for example, something like that. Boom, boom, something like that each and every time, okay? If he gets used to something like that that you might feel is your style or something that you're good at, you feel that you're good at, then what we want to do after we've gone about 60 seconds of figuring him out, and then 120 seconds we've played around with a couple of things that, you know, look really traditional, you know, those kind of things. And then all of a sudden in that we want to maybe stick with this traditional, because he's probably really blocking or moving out of the way. So at this point we're not really counting on any of this to actually be the devastation of what we're getting ready to do. Because now, instead of him expecting something, you know, a little more traditional, now what we're actually going to do is boom, boom, pow. Sorry, I kind of went out of the camera there. when I come around, okay, this particular kick, we're going to set it up in such a way that once we understand he's hurt, something's really gone wrong, every time he puts weight down, okay? You see this across the board with Japanese fighters. They want constantly, for some reason, to put all of their weight on this center, okay? And every time they come forward on, say, like a punch, for example, it's almost like a boxer in Western boxing. When they throw those punches, they put weight on that front leg. And that jab, a lot of times, is really heavy on that front leg. So it's almost like 70-30, okay? And I've seen Western karate guys do the same thing. Maybe it's because they've got that boxing in their blood. Not exactly sure, because from what I understand and what I've met with, a lot of the traditionalists from Japan, they don't fight like that. They will either center where there's an equal amount, but that they're always ready to distribute what's necessary only to get back to their center. I don't necessarily agree with that, because I do hold a bias to Muay Boran, but nevertheless, I think that is more logical, because what this guy's going to do whenever you go to attacking that leg with that particular kick, there's going to come a point in time where you're going to get to use it more and more and more and more and more, and he's not going to be able to stop it, because you're going to see that every time he puts his leg down, he's in pain. And when that pain reaches all those nerve endings, what happens is everything he does now is more or less him just reaching. He's just reaching now. And he knows that if he misses, it's going to drain energy. And not only if he misses, that means he's got to put everything he's got on to the damaged legs. Okay? So that's what we want to do with this particular kick, especially if we know that our opponent has a good rounded foundation. Your kick looks a lot like the typical Japanese, and that's it. It just has that snap, and that's it. It just has that snap, and that's it. Okay? I'm not saying there's not some real force behind it. I'm not saying you can't crush a baseball bat with it. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is if you'll apply this technique, okay, you'll have more. You'll have more. Liberate the foot that you're standing on, okay? This foot right here, liberate it whenever you get ready to throw this kick. Boom! I mean, you put everything you got into that. Your hands need to come up. When I get ready to throw that kick, this hand's going to go this way, and so is this hand. Boom! Okay? My shoulder right here is protecting vital targets in Muay competitions, okay? And also, if the guy's throwing punches from here, or kicks from here, okay, I'm protecting, my hands is in a location where I can protect myself, okay? But it's important that I throw this arm that way so I get that distribution of balance that is going to bring that force. One way you can practice this kick is you can go like this, just standing there. Show another angle. Okay? When I'm throwing that kick, see, I'm really turning my hips. I'm turning my hips. I'm turning them hard. I'm turning them. Okay, another angle. Another angle.